The early indications from the government are that they believe so much in their own rhetoric that rather than try to build on that progress, they want to fritter it away. That's the early indications. Well, we are here to hold them to account, to ensure that all the hard work done by New Zealanders, not just in the last 10 years but previous to that, building this confident aspirational country is not frittered away, that it turns into real gains for every New Zealander who wants the opportunity to be able to realise their dreams. So, Mr Speaker, we heard it this morning, a speech dripping with good intentions. We're not going to hold the government to account about its intentions. We share many of them. It would be a bit difficult to find many New Zealanders who didn't, which is precisely the danger of relying on your good intentions. Right. And this is a government that does. I've heard the Prime Minister say it. I've heard her say it. When you're leading the pack, quote, intention is reality. Right. Well, no. Reality is reality. Reality is homes and businesses and individuals who need decisions that are going to enable them to realise their dreams. Well, here's a good example just from the last couple of days of good intentions. Let's go to Australia and show them how firm and fresh the new government is by talking about retaliation for their tertiary fees policy. Well, that was the intention. Well, guess what actually happened? Australians found out we're offering them free domestic tertiary education in New Zealand. Now, some of my best friends are Australians, and I'd have to say, New Zealand is now less credible. We went to push back and we got rolled over. That's actually what's happened. So that's the gap between intentions and reality. There's some benchmarks these days. People want governments to work for them, so here's a few. 2.6 million people in work, more than ever, the highest and third highest employment rate in the world. And the last 2 years have seen job creation at the rate of 10,000 per month. Now, I can concede it could be better. Well, let's see. Let's see if the rate of job creation is going to pick up. Children really are at the heart of what the government's on about. Why are they abolishing national standards? Why? Parents didn't ask them. Kids didn't ask them. The only people who asked them to do it were teacher unions. If you want to have, of course, well, we agree with progression reporting, but if you want progression reporting, it's got to be based on a standard. And I'm just saying to the Minister, don't reenact the shambles of the start of NCA, where they tried to have assessment with no standards. That's exactly where you're headed. I'm warning you. I'm warning the Minister right now. He's in for 2 years of torture, not from us, but from the system. But the core of it is this. We don't care about the average or the sample parents want. My child's not average. My child's not a sample. I want to know about my child. And I want a report on my child. And I want to know that that report means something. And it can only mean something. Well, actually, national standards work best for those kids for whom public education matters the most. There's never been more attention on Māori and Pacific achievement than in recent years because the standards showed us the truth. We were honest, we wanted to know it, and we wanted to grapple with it. And that government, the government has already decided to hide the truth. To hide it because it's inconvenient, and more importantly, you have to change things to get it fixed. Well, here's another challenge. I invite the Prime Minister to go to Vanguard School and stand in front of those kids and ask them and tell them the Labor policy, which is they'd shut them down if they could, and then ask them her famous question. Ask them her famous question. But they say to them, but how do you feel? How do you feel? Ask the 15-year-olds and the letters, how do you feel? The young people whose lives were turned around because it's just a little bit different, that school. One of a half a dozen, or 10, just a bit different. Not every kid fits the mainstream system. That's reality. Reality is what a 16-year-old says about what changed their life. And if the Prime Minister doesn't go there, then she never really meant it, did she? She never really meant that those children were right at the heart of the government's considerations, because 15-year-olds know. And I know what they'll tell you. They'll tell the Prime Minister, this changed my life, and she's going to have to say, I don't care. You're wrong. Your parents are wrong. Your teachers are wrong. You, aged 15, whose life is better, you're wrong, and we'll shut you down if we can. Well, maybe she can do it. Let's wait and see.